Hi, and welcome to another SLTEC Fertilizers mini-session. Today, we'll be discussing specific gravity of liquids and how you can use specific gravity in your on-farm quality control processes. Density is a measurement of a liquid's weight per unit of volume. For example, water's density is 1 kilogram per litre, or 1 gram per mil. Specific gravity, or SG, is a comparison of a liquid's density relative to the density of a reference product. In the case of liquid fertilizers, we're always referencing the density of water. As water's density is 1 kilogram per litre, we're always dividing by 1, and therefore the terms SG and density are often used interchangeably. For practical reasons, we can just think of SG as a liquid's weight divided by its volume, expressed in kilos per litre or grams per mil. A hydrometer is a glass cylinder that has been calibrated to measure specific gravity of liquids, with water as a reference. When we float a hydrometer in water, we can see that the SG is 1. It's important to note that hydrometer readings are taken from the bottom of the meniscus, which is the dip in the liquid surface that forms as the liquid is attracted to the glass wall of the measuring cylinder and the glass wall of the hydrometer. Our SLTEC hydrometers can measure between an SG of 1 to 1.5, which is enough to cover the vast majority of commonly used liquid fertilizers. First, make sure that the temperature of your sample is close to the hydrometer's calibration temperature, which is printed on the stem. The SLTEC hydrometers are calibrated at 15.6 degrees Celsius, and although large temperature differences can affect the measured SG, as long as the liquid's temperature is less than 25 degrees, you'll be fine for general testing purposes. Next, check that there is enough liquid in the measuring cylinder so the hydrometer can float freely when placed in it. If there are any air bubbles trapped, give the hydrometer a quick spin to release them. If sample liquid is splashed onto the hydrometer stem, wipe it off. This can artificially lower the SG reading, especially for heavier liquids, as it weighs down the hydrometer. As we've just seen, the density of water is 1 kilogram per litre and its SG is 1. When you dissolve fertiliser in water, it adds weight to your solution and also displaces or adds some volume. The weight of the dissolved fertiliser is always greater than the volume it displaces. For example, adding 73 grams calcium nitrate crystal to 27 grams water creates a solution that weighs 100 grams, but as you can see, takes up less than 100 ml. Using our hydrometer, we can tell that adding the fertiliser has increased the SG of this liquid from 1 water to 1.49. So we can see that dissolving fertiliser in solution will raise the solution's SG or density. The SG of the solution is directly related to the amount of fertiliser dissolved in it. To demonstrate this, compare the SG when the same calcium nitrate solution is shandied 50-50 with water. In fact, you can even use SG to determine the actual concentration of liquid fertilizers if you have enough information. In this case, with the data we've just collected, we can determine the concentration of any calcium nitrate solution just based on the measured SG. SLTEC routinely uses SG as part of our robust quality control and assurance program. All of our batches are tested for SG and other critical quality parameters during manufacturing to ensure they fall within a strict range of acceptability. 2 ways you can start using SG on farm today are checking that incoming fertiliser are within spec when they reach the farm, and assessing leftover or stored products for stability. When you receive your fertiliser on farm, taking a quick SG reading can quickly reassure you that the product has been manufactured properly and quickly address any issues should they arise. Check the label for the SG. If it's not listed on the label, check the safety data sheet under Section 9, Physical and Chemical Properties. As discussed earlier in this video, when fertiliser is added to water, the SG increases. The opposite is also true. When compounds precipitate and fall out of a fertiliser solution, the SG will decrease. Any product that you might suspect has had some stability issues or has been stored for a prolonged period can also have its SG measured in the same way and compared to its label or SDS. And that brings us to the end of this mini session. Hopefully, you're more aware of how to measure the SG or density of your liquid fertilizers and how this can help you on farm. For more information, feel free to reach out to an SLTEC representative.